Hello, hello. Happy Halloween. Samhain blessings to everyone. So happy y'all could join me today. If you are watching on Facebook, I am hey Julia. If you are typing in a question for a card pull today, just know that you may or may not get into the comments section. I'm using StreamYard so I can stream to Facebook and YouTube. The easiest way to go is to head over to the YouTube channel. But if you're on Facebook, go ahead and hey Rose, oh my God, how have you been? You've been on my mind. Glad you're here. Good. So I'm so excited. This is our sixth annual Halloween lunchtime card pulls. Hey Trisha, happy Halloween. I am so psyched that you guys are all here. And so we're going to try and get through as many readings as possible. Good morning, Sue. Happy Halloween. I don't have a costume on. I'm a coach. See, I have my swag that my friend Chris made for me with my little key and one of my logos on there. So I'm being an intuitive coach today. That's my costume. I don't know. But I'm so psyched to be here and to do some readings with you guys. So if you want to go ahead and if you have a question, I can really only do one card per person. I'll try to get as many folks in as I can. So if you have a specific question, oh, Julia, I loved your wings. Are they the light up ones? Those ones were freaking amazing that I saw on Facebook. Hey, Ara, hello. Oh my gosh. Hey, Mary. I'm so excited to see you guys all here and joining me. So if you have a specific question, you want to put it in the comments, please feel free to do so. I'm just getting cozy in my chair. And if you don't have a question, but you want a card, you can be like, hey, just pull a card and let Spirit tell me what, they need me to know. That might be if you're kind of like, well, I want a card pull, but I don't have a specific question, or I have a lot of questions, but I know I can only ask one. So maybe that might be a better one. So we're going to use our animal cards. I actually have this too. So the animal cards are like my favorite because they're so sweet and gentle. And if you don't have these and you want them, they're the Colette Baron Reed Spirit Animal Oracle. The other cards, which I may need to use the booklet because I literally just got these last week and I really haven't played with them much except for in the Celestial Soul Circle where I did do readings during our last full moon gathering. But Seasons of the Witch, Samhain Oracle. So I have the Yule one too. I'll probably pull that one out during December. Anyway, so I might use these too because I really like them. They're so pretty. But if you guys want to go ahead and start sharing like, hey, I need to know stuff, whatever they need to tell me. Okay. So I may use these ones just so I can practice if that's okay with you guys. Good morning, Bran. Hey, Marilyn, everybody, the gang's all here, y'all. Okay. So I pulled the book out because like I said, brand new with this deck. I did my hello, how are you to all the cards. So if you don't know, and you're new to cards or you used to cards, but you don't know this, like when you get a new deck, I love doing this. You say hello, you pull your cards out and you go through each card and you're like, hello card, and you read it and you get to know each one. So I've done that, cleared them, all that kind of stuff. So we're going to do this. So let's start. I'm so excited. That you guys are all here. So I'm going to just go ahead and start let's see, you're wearing your wings and your hat. Cause Julia, I think you're in over in the UK. So it is like 7:00. You're ready to party. That's why she's got her costume on, but I bet other people have their costume on. Okay. So we'll start with Rosie because Rose, I have not seen you in forever and you just want to know what Spirit needs you to know. So I'm going to pull you a Season of the Witch, Samhain, since it is Samhain. I think that's so beautiful. First off, Rose, before I even pull you a card, Spirit is trying to explain to me that I don't know what it is that's causing so much anxiety for you, but what they want you to know is that it's almost like you're creating, I love you so much. I say this with love. Spirit says this with love. You're creating this anxiety because there's like runaway storytelling in your mind about some stuff. So I feel like you're filling in blanks about things you don't know, and that's causing anxiety. And so they need your meat suit, your physical body needs to chill because it's getting really kind of, there's too much stress levels, and you need to just take a break from whatever this is, and take a break from this hamster wheel in the brain that is creating the stress for you. So get outside, um, maybe be among animals. That kind of stuff for you is going to be helpful, but that's really what I've been given to share with you from spirit without even pulling a card, that the stress level needs to come down. And I know that's hard. Trust me. I'm like, I got stuff going on too, that when people are like, "Oh, just go like chill." And you're like, "Really?" But it's almost like you have to find ways to stay in the present moment because your worry monster is getting out of control. So just know that that's something there too. So the first card that I'm pulling for you is called Rebirth. It's number 31 in the deck, and I'll read to you what it says. There's death in all that awakens, for it isn't blissful nor painless. It's a mighty rising, O flame resurrected. So when we are stepping, just to give some context here, when we're starting to step into that new version of us that we want to become, or that we are becoming because our spirit knows that's where we're supposed to go. And as an aside, even if I don't get to you today, every card that I pull, every time I talk about this, I'm really big on the power of intention. My intention is that, yes, this is a card for Rose right now, but it's for everybody listening, and especially if it resonates for you. Okay. So, rebirth, a lot of times, and I know this sounds weird, but we're in Scorpio season. So, this makes total sense that we're doing this. We just came out of an eclipse, which, like, I don't know about you, but it was rough, and you're still kind of feeling heavy about it. So, you started off over here, and now you're over here, right? So it's who we're becoming. And the rebirth, to be reborn, we have to let go of, we have to, in essence, die to the old version, let it go, so that we can step into this new version of who you are. And a lot of times that can be stressful. We can be a little bit afraid because we're not quite sure, because we've never been there before. And we've never been reborn into this version of us before. So to let you know, like, if this is about, you're moving, you're starting a new job, you're moving in a new direction, you're kind of feeling like you're reconnecting to the inside, and this wonderful butterfly is coming out, this shining thing is coming out, that's that rebirth for you. Just to let it happen. Don't stress about it. I feel like for you, Rose, that, and it even speaks to, there's like a letting go that has to happen before this can come all the way through. And letting go can be challenging, but just know that you are held in the divine essence of spirit, and you will be fine. Okay. So I hope that's helpful. So that was for Rose. And now let's see, we're going to go to Sue. Sue says, Spirit needs to tell me what to do. No, Sue. No, Sue. Now, everybody knows that I get a little bit snarky sometimes, and that's okay. I do it with love. So it's not tells me what to do. It's we give guidance. You choose what to do. Now, I tell this to everybody. When I do readings, I don't do like, here's what you need to do. You need to buy that house or do that business or paint that picture. No, that's up to you, because I am here to help empower you. So I want you to step back into that power. So what we might say, Sue might be asking, what does Sue need to know for her next right actions? That I think is better, because it's more about having the divine information, the insight to help you make the best decisions possible. So let's see. And I don't remember what card I pulled for you, Sue, when we were in Celestial Circle. So you may need to go look. It might be the same one. Who knows? Let's see. So I'm going to pull this one. You got rebirth too. You just saw me shuffle the hell out of that deck. So apparently this is the card of the day. But for you, Sue, it's like letting go of old mindsets. And again, I'm sorry, I had a little bit of like an omelet earlier, and it's just kind of like right there. Anyway, rebirth for you, Sue, is much more in the, and I'm gonna say this to everybody. I always say when one thing is psychic and one thing's not. I know Sue. She's a client of mine, and so we work together. So I will say this. I know you are transitioning from the old version of you to the new version of you, so this makes sense. But I also feel like there's this habit of not recognizing when you're falling into the old patterns and then getting upset with yourself, which is kind of what we talked about this morning. So that is a biggie for others too. And I think to get to that rebirth, to get to that next space, to get to that place is we have to let go of that programming too. We have to realize when that's happening. And here's a way to do it. And I love this. Okay. So here's a way to do it. So when we feel resistance, resistance can show up like feeling like you're taking a break and you feel guilty because you're taking a break. And this was so interesting because my acupuncturist is telling me last week I need to focus on nurturing my yin energy. And I think this is true for a lot of us ladies because we've been growing up in a patriarchal society. So nurturing the yin has not been high on the list because you know what yin activities are? Chilling, doing stuff we like to do, tapping into the intuitive stuff. Sitting and listening to a book or watching a show that you like, making a cup of tea, doing one thing at a time, and that's it. So think of like if you're down with the Hygge movement, which is that um, Norwegian cozy, comfy, like making your home cozy, comfy. It's a perfect time of year to start kind of getting into nurturing your yin. So I think those kinds of things for you, Sue, are going to help here to step into that version of you that you are looking to do because you're doing all the things. But here's the funny thing part of rebirth is learning to be, not do, be. So just being for you, I think, and letting go of this idea of I always have to be doing so that you can be reborn into a person who is a being. Okay. So I hope that helps for you. Now I'm gonna put this, I'm gonna show y'all putting it back in the middle of the deck. Okay. And I'm gonna shuffle it. Let's see. So then we have Marilyn. Good morning, girlfriend. I didn't know if you asked a question. You said hello. So I'm going to go to Mary. Mary Char. You know what, Mary? You popped up in my Facebook a bunch and I don't know where you've been. So hello and good morning to you. So Mary, let's see what it, and if rebirth comes up again, I'm just going to be like, what? But I'm thinking something else is going to come up. So shuffling. So you can see me doing it. I'm not just pulling the same card for everybody. All right. Ancestors. Ooh, Mary. Your mom comes up for this one. I don't know why. She's just there. And she's very quiet. She wants you, and so I hope that, or if it's not your mother, if your mother's not on the other side, but if she is on the other side, whoever this person is, I keep getting kind of a mom or a mom figure for you. She's quiet and she's watching, and she wants you to know she's watching over you and that she loves you. She's proud of whatever it is you're doing. I don't know what it is you're doing, but she's happy that you're doing something that makes you happy. I don't know the word painting, like, or the idea of painting or being creative with color. I don't know if you're doing that or she's explaining that you need to do that to do it more. So, anything else? No, she says she's hugging you. So just so you know that. So ancestors, I love this. They hiss quivering. These are such great, like, because a lot of them are more like these other decks are kind of like, do this other thing. But this is like a little poems, and I love this. So ancestors is the person kind of with the halo. Because when our ancestors, and here's an interesting thing, just in general, ancestors maybe are not always just your lineage of family members, okay? Your ancestors could be like if you live on land or any land, right? I live in a condo, but the land that we live on used to be home to the indigenous people. It actually was part of the Civil War back in the day on the Confederate side. So there was a lot of ancestry in the land. So honoring our ancestors as I can't remember if it was Sandra Ann Taylor or another teacher that called it that. I love that, ancestors, like honoring the land you live on. It could be people that, that you maybe are not related to, but you're kind of following in their footsteps. Those could be your ancestors. And then there's the traditional, more like, this is my family kind of ancestors that are helping me out. So ancestors is the card that I pull for you, Mary. And they hiss a quivering so deep only roots of your soil can lift the nakedness hidden within the vows made in silence, an ancient chill walking upon the spine. So I feel like for you, Mary, your ancestors, you need to tap into them. I know that I want to say, I don't know if you're doing this kind of work or not, but I feel like whatever it is you're doing, tap into your ancestral energy for that to kind of amp up that purpose, that life purpose. Because remember, your soul purpose, our soul purpose is the same for everyone. It's joy, love, and abundance. Your life purpose is how you manifest that soul purpose into the 3D. So with that in mind, whatever it is that you're doing that brings you joy, love, and abundance, I feel like your ancestors want to be there to help you. So remember, you're not co-creating is with somebody else, with your ancestors, with the universe. So don't think you're alone. Okay, so as you are doing, creating whatever it is that you're doing, and remember, creation isn't just like painting or whatever. It could be creating the life you want, creating more peace in your life, creating a new way to be in the world. Whatever it is, know your ancestors are there and they have your back. So you're not alone in this journey, and they will send to you those who will support you. So I am hoping that this is helpful for you, because I feel like you feel like you're trying to do something and it's almost like I'm trying to do it all on my own. And the fact is that if you remember, co creation job descriptions are your job description is the what and the why, and taking inspired action when it's put in front of you by spirit ancestors. Their job is the where, when, and how. So you don't got to think to yourself, I have this great idea. How the hell am I going to pull that off? No, it's just having conversation with ancestor. What would it take for me to have that opportunity come? What would it take for me to be open to allowing my ancestors to help me? And that's not a question for you to answer. That's a question for the ancestors to support you in. So you let that out and you let it go. Got it? So that's for ancestors. It's for you, Mary. Let's see. Trisha Wilson. Hello, Trisha. I think you're new to me, but hello and welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. All right. So Trisha, I feel like, let's see, your question is wondering what's next for me. What is next for me, please? Need a path. I'm going to pull an animal card for you. So I feel like that's going to be a little bit more. And I keep getting, there's a lot of people doing when there's needing to be being. Like, we're like not used to just having downtime. And I think that's a big thing too. And I feel like people are now saying, but I've had downtime. I don't understand. Well, if you're not taking your downtime and filling it with rest and relaxation and recharging, that's not really downtime. That's you just trying to fill space. You're not being productive. You're being busy. And that is not downtime, my darlings. So if that's you, Trisha, which I feel like it might be, just that's energy, talent, spirit saying this is something Trisha needs to hear. So what is it that you need for your next right actions? Let's see. Buffalo spirit. So Buffalo spirit upside down. Now, upside down, do not freak out. I will explain upside down cards in this deck. Upside down cards in the animal deck for me, or in any deck, really. You know, I don't subscribe to the scare the shit out of your clients kind of mentality of upside down cards. Is like, how'd your kids, how'd your wife? It's much more like, I didn't know that. I knew that and I forgot, or I know that and I don't want it because I'm being a whiny baby. That's the way I see upside down cards. And generally I get a feeling of which one that is. And usually I'm right. So in this case, we have upside down Buffalo spirit. And Buffalo spirit is the abundant universe will provide. If it were right side up, it would be like, oh, right. Yeah. Just a reminder. Hey, don't worry about money, Trisha. Don't worry about what's next. Because abundance, we all have a tendency to go straight to money. And a lot of times when people talking about like, what should I do next? It's about money. But remember, abundance could be more about abundance of peace of mind. Abundance, you could bypass, money is like the middle management of the 3D world. Because I don't know about you, but it's way more fun when you manifest stuff and you don't have to like be like, well, I need $10 million so that I can go do this, this, and this. But wouldn't it be fun? Like if somebody just said, hey, here you go. You wouldn't have to deal with like having to navigate like the money part of it. They're like, here you go. I mean, I find it a lot more fun when people are like, hey, here's the thing that you were looking for. Sweet. Awesome. But when it's upside down, I feel like this one is for you, Trisha. Let's see. The abundant universe will provide. I feel like you know this. And it's not so much I want to be really clear on this one. It's not you're being a whiny baby. I feel like you're not trusting in this. I feel like you have to understand that there's the trinity of self. Like, I don't know, like what your childhood, like upbringing was. Mine was Catholic. I'm recovering Catholic. And I remember sitting there and I think I said this to someone recently. And I said, I remember sitting in church as a kid and the priest saying, the Trinity is just the mystery. People just don't ever understand it. And I was like, no, it's like the 3 forms of matter. And yes, I know there's like more than 3 forms now because now there's like 5 forms of matter because things change and evolve, but we're sticking with 3. So if water The three forms of matter is like water is liquid, gas, and solid, right? So we got the three forms of spirit. So we have liquid, which is the universe, that nebulous holy, like God, if you will, God, goddess, source energy, the universe, whatever your deity of choice is. But that thing that is bigger than you, that is who we are, we are extension of it. Okay. And then you have gas, which is, say, the Holy Spirit or spirit energy, which is to me that umbilical cord between us and source energy. And then you have the solid, which is the individual, right? So there are three, but they are one, just in different form. So that said, you are, as an individual, sometimes we cut ourselves off. And the thing is that source and spirit loves you so much, but we have a tendency to see you cut yourself off from us. So the fact is that a lot of times the suffering that comes from not having faith in the universe is, I don't have faith in my own connection to universe. And so that's where, Trisha, you need to kind of sit down and remember that you are a divine being of light. And that, do not worry, everything will come to you. So if you would maybe say, the unanswered question to the universe for you would be, what would it take for me to be open and have faith for my abundance to come in? What would it take for me to be open and accepting for any of the amazing opportunities, not ones I think of, because this is limited in this 3D form, but as a spiritual, omnipotent, omniscient being that we are an extension of, it knows. So if I can activate that by asking and opening conversation with it, by saying, what is the next opportunity for me? I am open and willing to receive whatever it is you send to me, and then mean it and let it go. And then be on the lookout. Not like where you're like, where's my stuff? Where's my stuff? Where's my stuff? But as you're going through the day, kind of hold that intention, but don't focus on the absence of the answer. Okay. And that will come and bring to you where you need to have that abundance, and it'll stop the block that's going on for you there. I hope that's helpful. So let's see. Let's see. Hello, Bren. Good morning. Good morning. I saw a little picture of London today with her little gloves on. She is just like the cutest little thing ever. That's her little baby. Bren says, yay, would love to receive the message from me to support my new chapter of my journey, which I saw the posting. OMG. So awesome. Congratulations. I think that's awesome for you, by the way. Bren is working on, in conjunction with our coaching. She and I are both alumni of Radiant Coaching Academy, or whatever I think it's called, maybe something else now. But she's working on New Earth coaching as part of a curriculum in the certification. So that's super duper exciting for you, Brendan. I'm excited for you. So I'm going to pull you one of the Samhain cards, because I know that's what you want. I can see it. So shuffling, and I'm going to pull this one. Ooh, girl, you got the Banshee. Banshee. Now, don't freak. So I find Banshees interesting because Banshee is the card says, heed my warning, dear child, for what I hold is far from unsung lullabies. Swallow a nail and you can expect bleeding from within. So what does this mean? Now, I want to be really clear. Like, the cry of the Banshee is usually a harbinger of something. Not always great, but I feel like this card is not about that. This is more about negative self-talk for you, because the scream of the Banshee is this. And the scream of the Banshee is more about negative, I keep, Spirit's like, unpositive. And I'm like, that's not a word, y'all. But it's almost like, remember to speak, whatever we speak into being. Okay. And so remember not to swallow nails, is what it's saying. Don't swallow the things we don't want. Don't swallow or speak, or whether it be inner or outer. Be very mindful as you're creating these new things, to speak gently to yourself. Be mindful that the Banshee lurks. Because I think a lot of times when we're creating stuff and when we're doing stuff, there's like the inner itty bitty shitty committee can come on through, and we just need to tame it. And the way to do that, is, as you probably well know, having a little child, when you ignore them screaming, they just scream louder. But when you look at them and you're like, I see you, I hear you, I love you, but this is how we're going to go forward. and I know that may not be what you want, but this is the way it's got to be, they kind of at least calm down to some extent. So if we could treat our inner itty bitty shitty committee the same way and say, I see you, I hear you, thank you for your advice, but I'm going to be gentle with myself. I'm going to be loving towards myself. I'm going to speak blessing unto myself. And every time I see you pop up, I'm going to give you a hug and say thank you, but that's not what we're doing right now. And of course, yes, that's great that you pulled a file from the itty bitty shitty file room, but we've never done this before. So I am going to move forward from a place of love. And if I succeed, awesome. If I need to reevaluate, still awesome. So that's where the Banshee is coming for you. It's like saying, be mindful of how we're talking to ourselves and how we're talking to ourselves about the things we're moving into. Okay. So that's for you, Bren. Love that. Julia. She says, oh goodness, which ones are beautiful? The which ones? Yeah, aren't they? I'm sure you guys you probably can get them in the UK. I bet so. That's this one. So if you need to order it, I got it off the Amazon, the witch store in the Amazon is not, it's a general store really. It's just a ginormous gem, but you can get witchy shit on the Amazon. Anyways, so yes. Marilyn, does Spirit have a message for me today? Marilyn, Spirit always has a message for you. I mean, let's be honest. I love you, girl. I hope you're doing good. And by the way, as I'm shuffling, Marilyn's one of the folks that always does my annual New Year's readings. For those of you who are VIPs, just a quick note. VIPs are those of you in the Celestial Soul Circle right now. Those of you who have been private coaching clients with me over the last year, or you did book your 2023 reading last year. So the group of people that fall into any of those categories, check your emails because you have pre-sale status, which means you get to pick dates and times. I think I'm only doing like one Saturday. So like to make sure you get the day and time you want for your 2024 14 card New Year's reading, which I do every single year. These are private readings. They're on Zoom. I record them. You get a picture of your cards. If there's any spiritual recommendations, I send all that to you in an email. So you get everything. And I have clients, I had a client the other day. She was like, oh my gosh, I do the Woopreneur coaching to help people leap from your job to doing what you really want to do. And she just recently gave her resignation in. And she even said to me, I went back and looked at my reading from last year because it's one card for every month plus overarching and animal medicine for each person. And she said, oh my gosh, you said I was going to quit my job in this month. And I looked back because she would go and review each month and stuff. And I have other clients who do that where they pull it out every single month. They're like, hey, I got my own personal monthly guide because it's a map for the whole year. So if that is you, make sure you check in your email. If you're a member of Soul Circle, Celestial Soul Circle, you did your reading, your New Year reading last year, or you've been a private client with me. Now, for everybody else, don't worry. It's not like this is passing you by. The VIP status is a pre-sale date selection. So I will be doing, just a really quick note, since we're doing this special reading right now, I will be doing the New Year reading for the collective on Friday, next Friday, the 10th. Can you believe? Oh my God. The 10th of November, we'll be doing it. And on the 11th, I open the calendar to everybody. So VIPs, get your spot now before I open it to everybody. Everybody else, you can watch the reading so you can get a gist of what you would receive. And then you can book yours to open on the 11th because I always open it on 11/11. And I only have limited number of spots because I close everything out when I close down for the year. I think this time it's going to be the 15th of December. So not that many spots. Okay, so back to it. Marilyn, I am back with you. Okay, so we're going to do these cards for you, Marilyn. So, Spirit have a message for me. Yes. Ooh, mischief. Oh, girl, I can hear you giggling. Of course you got mischief. Oh, my goodness. It says, keep your eyelids open and sharp as nails, for there is something trailing behind your tail. So, I love these because they have little, they're written poems and spells or whatever. So this is the card. I love this. It's so cute. I love the cards. So just know there might be a little mischief happening. Now, I don't feel this is bad. I feel like it's going to be kind of more of God, for fuck's sake, kind of one of those kind of things, as opposed to like someone being just malicious. I feel like mischief is like you have playful spirits around you. And so with that in mind, as you move forward in whatever it is you're doing, there might be some like I know we're supposed to have a Mercury retrograde in December, but the reason I say that is to kind of be like just be on the lookout for that. But on the lead up from like today forward, it feels like there's Mercury retrograde kind of things. Because remember, Mercury is a trickster, and they're not necessarily mean. They're just kind of a pain in the ass. So just be aware and go with the flow and know that it's okay, everything's going to work itself out, but be on guard that like if you can roll with the mischief and you can see it kind of coming and fix it, you'll probably be better off. But know that if you're just kind of going to skip around through life without your eye on the prize and without being on the lookout for these kinds of things, it could trick you up a little bit. So just make sure that you're on the lookout for the mischief so that it doesn't mess with you too much. Okay, I think that's helpful. Let's see. Sue says, I love the season of the witch cards that you've been pulling for me. Been trying to listen to the voices. Oh, yeah. That's what Sue got. You got voices when we did it in Soul Circle. Julia, I love that it's daytime there and it's going dark here. Yeah, I know. Isn't it crazy? And Ara says, Donna says, hi. Hi, Donna. Hello, that's Ira's mother. She's awesome. Hey, Carrie. Afternoon. First time watching. Welcome, Carrie. Awesome. If you love what we're doing here, go ahead and like the channel. We talk about manifesting, all kinds of fun stuff. Hey, Diane. Let's see. Slightly Unfiltered with Desiree. Desiree makes the best stuff, and she is slightly unfiltered. She's another friend of mine who gives the real talk and drops the F-bombs because you know what? That's how life goes. So happy Halloween. She says, I'm doing my makeup as I listen. I'd love a reading if you have time. Trying to figure out what's next. Okay, we're going to pull. Actually, you know what? I'm going to pull you an animal card, Desiree, because I feel like that's going to be helpful for you. Okay. And if anybody is loving this, please go ahead and like the channel, like the video. It helps my algorithms or whatever the mathy things are that I don't understand that get the message out. So let's see. Oh, Desiree, this is pulling it out. So you got an upside down one too. Girl, I feel like when I say this, you're gonna know, and it's weird because like cognitively or consciously, I don't know the legit facts. I know stuff's going on because we've talked about it, so that's not me being psychic, but like I don't know specifically what this is relating to, but spirit is telling me you do. So you got groundhog spirit upside down, which is again, I didn't know that. I knew and I forgot, or I know and I don't wanna because I'm being a whiny baby. Girlfriend, I love you so much. It's the last one. Your message is time to let go. And right now, I know you just went. So I know it's something you've known you want to let go, but our embodiment, our what do they call it? Somatics, is that the right word? There's like this when I look at your energy, there is this like attachment here that's like you're trying to, and it's weird because the attachment isn't from the thing, person, or situation that you think it is. It's you being attached to that. So you have the power to just be like, I'm going to choose to let it go. And all of a sudden it'll just go. And so whatever this is, and it is so fear-based, and honey, you do not need to be afraid. You don't need to be afraid. I swear to God, you don't need to be afraid. Okay. Because once you step into it, whatever this is, there's a lot of heaviness here for you. And I really, oh, girl, I want to just give you a big old hug, whatever this is. But it is time to let it go. It's time to let go of the fear. It's time to just remember you are a beautiful being of light. And this is not what you were meant to be held back by. Okay. I love you so much, honey, because whatever this is, it's got a tight hold on you. And the weird thing is that you are the one that can just be like, I am done. And once you stand up and like kind of have that Captain Marvel moment where like, if you're, I'm a nerd. So like, there's that moment where she realizes like, wait, wait a minute, this thing that's like, part of my what I should that's giving me my power actually is like a block because they're afraid of me. And once you kind of go, psh, remember when she like kind of like came into her own and all of a sudden she lit up on fire and it was like everybody was like, oh shit. That's the moment you need to have for yourself because that is where and see my dog is even barking because he knows. But the fact is that once you get whatever that is, that thing out of your heart, like where you're like, I'm gonna just let that go and it's okay. It's okay if I cry. It's okay if I grieve. It is okay, but it's gotta go. And you're gonna have that like Captain Marvel moment, and all of a sudden it's and people gonna be like, uh-oh. And the rest of us around you that love you and want all only the best for you are gonna be like, yes. So let it go. Let that shit go. Okay. Rachel, hey. Oh my God. Hey, how are you? Hey, Diane. We'll love a message. Okay. So, Diane, let's see. Message for you. You need a witch card because she's powerful. So, let's see. She says, what does Diane need to know? Let's see. Ooh, haunted. I love this one because this one to me has two messages. One, and this is the card, haunted. So a haunted card, haunted is like kind of like ancestors, but it's ancestors trying to help you unlock something that has been holding you back. So the card actually says, and I love these little poems, I'm going to read it. The breaking of the floor beneath your naked feet, the creaking of the walls as the cold kisses the flesh. You're never really alone when you're in the company of hauntings within the bone. So there's a couple of things going on here. One, know that spirit's always with you, no matter what's going on and whatever your worry is, it's okay. The other side of this is being haunted by something that is so deeply ingrained. Like right now, after we went through that eclipse, which a lot of times eclipses are like ripping off the band-aid on stuff that need to just the air to heal, which isn't always the funnest, but it gets the job done pretty damn quick. And now we're kind of come through it. And so it's almost like we have to process what just happened. And I feel like there's stuff going on with you from what this says is there's some stuff coming to the surface. Whatever went down over the last 2 weeks for you has brought and triggered things to come to the surface. Maybe things that you haven't thought about in like forever. And it's okay to let them come up and out and go. Okay. Because otherwise you will be haunted by them. They'll color everything, even if you're not thinking of them. So just allow them to come and move up and out, if you will. Okay. That's for you, Diane. Awesome. Amanda Jones, you're new. I've never seen your name before, and welcome to my channel. I love you so much. Thank you for so much for being here. Again, if you're new and you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Click the bell so that the YouTubes know that everything's cool. If you're on Facebook, make sure you click like and all that business. Because Facebook's kind of like, I don't know, they're weird. I don't know what they do. So Amanda, just whatever spirit wants to tell you. Okay. Let's see. And it's funny, you got haunted again too. So for you though, it's a similar thing, but it's a lot stronger. That's what I'm feeling. So again, if we don't address those inner things that are in our bone, and by in our bone, it's like stuff that's been around since childhood. And for you, Amanda, I feel that's the thing. There's this inner childhood thing that you need to, and I want to say it's not just like, because we always have this image in our head of the inner child is like 5 years old. For you, Amanda, I feel like it's a early teen, somebody like there that feels very alone. And she is who needs to be addressed here. And she is who haunts you. And when I say haunt, I say her view colors how you navigate life. And she needs to be reparented. She needs to be loved. She needs to be made to feel safe and made to feel beautiful. I feel like this child, this young teenager, needs to feel valued. So in your reparenting of yourself, to, kind of dissolve this haunting, to heal the haunting, to let it go, it's almost like she needs to feel valued for who she is. Um, and that's coloring a lot of what's going on with you right now. So if there's ways for you to feel more valued, to for you to know your worthiness, for you to know the love of yourself, to that's the kind of stuff you need to focus on right now, Amanda. That will be what will help level you up. Because right now it feels like there's like hedging of bets because I'm not quite sure if I'm worthy of that, and it's not a conscious thought. It's like I don't know why I can't get to where I want to go. It's like every time I try to get to where I want to go, something happens. And that energy is creating that. So that's what needs to be addressed. So I hope that was helpful. Hey, Kathy. Kathy says, I made it. Roses resonates for me. So if you can do one for me, that's great. If not, also great. Of course, I'll pull you one, sister friend. Let's see. And I want to say, I sent you an email. You're on the VIP list. So look for your email if you want to book your New Year's reading. So Kathy. Broom. You get the broom, Kathy. I love the broom. What dreams may come from what you seek? Make room, make way, a clearing need be. So the broom, not just a vehicle for flying from A to B, my sister. This is about decluttering. And I know you've been doing a lot, but it seems like we need to do it again. So the broom is like decluttering. And when I talk about decluttering, it's not just maybe your outside world, like your house or your closets. That's always good because that's a reflection of how we want to create our inside. But it's more about your inside, decluttering yourself from old programming thoughts, from old thoughts about your worthiness, of how I feel like how you're depending on external stuff when the power is within you. Stop doubting you. Declutter that. Get rid of the doubt of your own power, because you are a power to be reckoned with when you believe in yourself. But there's other stuff going on in here that's like there's still a little bit of self-doubt around something more personal, not your work, but you. So understand that you need to declutter that specifically, but decluttering all of our just reanalyzing is this behavior working for me? Are these thought processes working for me? Is how I do X, Y, and Z working for me? Just doing that kind of wintertime evaluation, how we do the 3 bins, it's like keep, goodwill, throw in the trash. That's kind of what we need to do sometimes with our behaviors, our thoughts, our habits, all that kind of stuff, so that you can decide and make room and create a vacuum that sucks in all the good stuff. So that's what our broom is. We're sweeping away all the ick. Okay, so that's for you, Kathy. Let's see, who do we have next? Hey, Carrie, you're new too. She says, can I get a card if I don't have a specific question? Yes, because what we just say is, and this is for everybody, what we just say is, hey, I don't have a specific question, or I have too many questions. So what does Spirit want to tell me? So let's just do that. We'll say, what does Spirit want to tell Carrie Greathouse? And by the way, thank you for joining today, Carrie. I am so grateful that you're here. Let's see. This one. Oh, you got broom too. Apparently we're decluttering a lot. So again, for you though, Carrie, this decluttering, I hate to say it because I don't want to say somebody has a messy house, but I feel like there's a space that you occupy on the regular that needs tidying up. And I don't mean like it's gross or whatever, but it's just like there's disorganization in your physical space. And I don't know if this is your office or it is a space in your home that you spend a lot of time. It could be your kitchen. I don't know. But it's someplace you spend a lot of time that is in disarray. And the reason it's in disarray is because your mind is in disarray. Louise Hay used to say it all the time. She said, our outside world is a reflection of our inner world. And a lot of times, if we're not receiving the stuff that we want, we're not manifesting the things that we want, it's because of the clutter in our mind. And that is then reflected in maybe, you're like me back in the day. Like right now, I have all my piles on my desk, but I made a pact with myself several years ago that I would, before the end of my workday, whether I was working in corporate or I'm working for myself, I take an hour at the end of the day and I just tidy up and put everything where it's supposed to go so that the next day can come and it'll be fresh and I won't have to worry about it. So, but what I keep feeling is more like your declutter is external. and you're wondering why you don't feel good about it. So here's my thing. I know that it's not the most fun activity, but I would highly recommend whatever this space is. It might be a closet that you've been like you just shoved all your crap in. Um, Make sure you take a moment, maybe a day, and you just declutter it. Like go through, and I'm not saying you got to Marie Kondo things where it's like you only keep like 3 books and one shirt. I mean, that's just ridiculous in my opinion. But it's more like really kind of go through and address the things, because I feel like what's there for you are some things that are not just decluttering external stuff being held onto because they're attached to something that was let go of a while ago, but because it's physically still there, whatever the energetic attachment is still kind of hanging around. So we need to get that out of there. So that's what your broom is for. Is like literal go get the broom and clean that shit up, because it'll clear out whatever is energetically hanging around so that you can again open up and create a vacuum to manifest and suck in and attract all the stuff that you do want to create space. Because if we don't have space for it, there's nowhere for it to come and sit down if it's going to be attracted. So that I hope helps. Let's see. So we have Rose. She says, "Thank you, Michelle. As always, you are the best." Thanks, Rose. You're the best too. Sue says, "I know." Um, then Julie says, "Whatever spirit says would be great for me." So she's working on being open. I think we did you, Julia. And Sue says, "Voices totally makes sense. Good morning." Hello, hello. Rachel, you want a general reading? Yes, ma'am. Oh, and let's see. Mary Chard, she says, "Thank you so much. My grandmother came up through you, the first reading you gave me. So I think that it's Baba Chica again." Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a mom either way. So yeah. Oh, hey, Julia Hancock. Yay. So let's see. Did you change your thingy? Yeah, you're over here on the Facebook or in the thing. Yes, and thank you for popping over to the YouTubes from Facebook, Julia. That's much more helpful because I can see things better. So, Rachel. Okay. I'm gonna pull you an animal card, Rach Rhea. So I feel like you are more animal driven. Or animal medicine, I guess is. Everybody's upside down today. So you had upside down sandpiper. And as I've said, upside down is I didn't know that. I forgot that I knew that. And I know that. And I don't want to. I think this is I forgot that I knew that, because up, if you'll see, it says be playful. Now, Rachel and I have, I think we're both radiant people. That's how I met you. And so I know some stuff about her. So there's certain things like I know she's been through some stuff. Um, so that's not me being psychic. But what I do feel like is the psychic part of this, the reading part of this is I know we go through stuff, and we go through stuff that's really tough and emotionally draining and like intense. Um, it can be hard to be playful when things chill, because we're still in that like fight, flight, flee, fawn, with all the thingies. And we kind of like are there waiting for something else to happen, when in actuality, it would help to be more playful. Now, if I could rephrase this, because I think a lot of times, Abraham talks about being playful, Louise Hay talks about everybody talks about being playful. And sometimes that's not the best word for it. And as a Virgo, being playful is one of those things where I'm like, what does that even look like? I don't even know. So the other form of it is experimentation. So, and by that I mean like giving yourself permission to do something for 24 hours a week, a month, 3 months that you've been thinking about, and not put any sort of expectation around it, not put any sort of like judgment around it. And it might be, I'm going to paint, I'm going to try a new form of yoga that I can learn to teach my students, because she does yoga trainings or yoga teaching, I think, and Reiki and all the things. Maybe it's, I'm going to meditate every single day and see what happens. But it could be like 24-hour increments. It could be something like, a week, a month, 3 months. And if we're experimenting, you can incorporate journaling work into this so that you write down, how am I feeling when I do it? So I did this today, and it might also bring accountability for you. I did this today. What did I love about it? How did it make me feel? How is it supporting me? like those kinds of things for you. So be playful, Rach. Really, I think if you're good with be playful, then do that. But if you needed more structure on it, having it be an experiment, I think would be probably a good way to get done what the stuff is that you are wanting to move towards. So there you go. Oops. Okay. What do we have next? We have Julia. You have Trisha. She says, hello, nailed it. Thank you. Bren, just lots and lots of love. Carrie and Tiny. Hi, Carrie. I've been looking for you since you started. I started following on Facebook. Hey, Mama. Well, you're here now, so that's good. Is that Carrie Greathouse? Is that who that was? Let me see. Did I find her? There she is. Yep, there you are. I think that's who you are. Ooh, it just did a weird thing. Let's see. Oh, she's there. Thanks. Trisha says, thank you. Julie says, I love that expression, itty bitty shitty committee. Yeah, I use it a lot. You're welcome to it. I don't have it like it's not trademarked. You do what you want. You can use that too. Carrie, first time watching, do you pull cards if people don't have specific questions? Yes, you just have to say, hey, what does spirit want to know or want me to know? Kathy says, it's all resonating. Awesome. Chaylee, hello, Chaylee. Let's see. And Julia just said she ordered the witch cards. Kathy says, my yearly ritual. Yes, on point every year. Ah, thanks, girlfriend. Hey, Kim. Any message for me? I hope you're doing good. I was thinking of you yesterday. I hope you're doing good. So just, private message me or something and let me know how you're doing, Kim. Let's see. Carrie and Tina, I subscribed and have notifications turned on. I would love a reading, please. Okay, I heard message all night. Okay, cool. Slightly unfiltered with Desiree. Yeah, I know, Desiree. I'm sorry. I know. Sometimes I'm like, ugh, because that's why I was like, it's right here, man. Says I'll take the hug. Life is a shit show, right? I know. This all hits home. Rach says hi. Diane says thank you. Shaylee, you can have a message. Let me just run through some of these so I can see what's going on. Kathy, indeed on point, decluttering from a business trap. Yes. If there's time, love message. See, Moon Magic. Hi, Moon Magic. Hope you've been well. Yeah, if you have time, would love a card. I'm starting to bring wood in for the winter. Let's see. Julia didn't do me. Oh, okay. I'll come back and do you, Julia. I seem to be showing in both. Yeah, you're on all the things. Let's say, thanks for the comment about playful. Makes me scratch my head sometimes. Yeah, I know, right, Diane? Rach says, thank you. Carrie says, I don't know why I'm in two different people. I am two different people on here. I'm sorry. No worries, Carrie. Shaylee, thank you. Okay, cool. So I think I got through everybody. Let me hop back up here because I want to say, where are we? Julia. So Julia, I didn't read you yet. Okay, cool. So we're going to do Julia. Julia, you're so sweet. I'm going to do animals because you always you have your butterfly wings and all your fun stuff. Oh, well, you want me to do the witch cards, don't you? Okay. So I'll do you witch cards so you can see them. Or Samhain cards. This is for Julia. What does Julia need to know? Let's see. Oh, dark moon. Okay, so here's a fun thing. Fun fact, because I love moon manifesting. I actually teach a course. I have to go find it. It's on video. I have it on video. I'm going to put it on I'm going to build it some cool stuff next year. I'm so psyched. But you got dark moon. Now, it says, in the dark of your heart lives new breath waiting for you to release its ghost. Now, here's an interesting fun fact. When you're manifesting based on moon phases, right? So the phase before new moon used to be darker than the moon. The new moon actually, I want to say it's one or the other. It's been a long time since I forgot this, but new moon is the phase, like that whole phase of where the moon is covered up. Right before it is dark moon. Dark moon is when we set our intentions. And new moon is when we plant them in the ground. So the dark moon, this is right now the most fertile time for you to be planting your seeds, or to at least not so much planting your seeds. It's about you sitting down and figuring out, what do I want? What do I want? And I feel that's so on point for you, Julia, because I feel like you've been kind of like, it's almost like you just were like, I'm coming out of my shell. So it's, what do I want? So that I can continue to manifest. Because here's the funny thing, you can be both grateful for all the stuff that you've already manifested while also holding what you want to set intentions for more. So you can do both, because the energy of the gratitude and the appreciation for the relational or the co-creation relationship that you have with the universe, that's the gratitude that you have for when you get stuff, will just increase you attracting the more things you want. So it's not like I have to be grateful and guilty about wanting more. It's I get to be grateful and I'm appreciative and I'm so enjoying my co-creational relationship with the universe that I'm going to, it's going to just, do better and create more abundance for me in whatever area that I want. So you're holding them both at the same time. So remember to, even though you're having an awesome time, because you've been doing a lot of fun stuff. That's not me being psychic. That's me stalking you on the Facebook. I know you're doing a lot of fun stuff because I followed you all that, like, whatever that Nashville thing was that you were doing, but you were over still in the UK. And the thing is, like, it's don't, yes, be in the present moment, enjoy your stuff, but remember to be like, ooh, like when I went to Scotland last month and I was like, ooh, I didn't get to go to all the things. So you know what? Maybe I want to come back to Isle of Skye because I didn't get to go there. I got as far as Inverness, but that was as far as I got. And then also we were like, ooh, we could do a river cruise. Like, let the thing that you're grateful for launch new things for you. That's the darkness, the dark of the moon. So I hope that was helpful, Julia. Carrie, back to you. So yes, you don't need a specific question. We just need to say, what does Carrie need to know? What does Carrie need to know? So I'm just going to, and I'm shuffling the cards. What does she need to know? Ooh, third harvest. Now, see, that to me is like the equinox. And I love this because this reminds me of my own sign, which is Virgo. I was born on the equinox. I don't believe in cusps, so I am like I think it's like a 22-degree Virgo or something. Daughters of the woods, feel thy sacred swell with supplements or suppleness. Taste the gathering of honey's milk, filling your emptiness. So this is third harvest. So think of it this way, like third harvest is in the fall. I feel like that, like, and you can even see this picture, which is like the right now time. So to me, it's remember, Carrie, that there is so much stuff that you have already created, that you are already receiving. And if you are having one of those times right now where you're kind of like, I'm not sure what's going to happen next. And I'm feeling kind of in a slump, right? You have to just kind of say, you know what? I need to think about and maybe make a list of all the things that you've already manifested that brought you this really great happiness, joy, energy, because that's the energy we need to stand in. Like I was just saying to Julia, it's like the energy of gratitude isn't so much about the gratitude for the thing, like the new car or the concert tickets or the new house or the new romance or the new job or the check in the mail. It's more about being grateful to the energy of the relationship you have with spirit that you use to co-create the stuff that you want. So being in gratitude and creating that as your energy, when you think about it, when you're in relationship with another person, whether it be a romantic relationship, a friendship, a family relationship, when you nurture that relationship, you give gratitude for it, you feed it what it needs to grow, it grows and it creates even deeper and more heart connected feelings. So it's the same thing when you are working with spirit, which again, everything is co creative. And you're never alone. And as long as you surrender to spirit, like the how and stuff like that, you will be receiving the stuff that you want as long as we're not standing in resistance with it. So that said, right now it may feel kind of slumpy, but there's two things going on. One, remember to even so stand in that gratitude for that relationship, for that energy that has co-created stuff for you in the past, while also at the same time saying to yourself, you know what? Like, for example, in the summertime, you have all of the vegetables coming in. I do canning. So you have that and you're canning and all of a sudden, and then come like October, November, a lot of times, and this is my canning group that I'm in, people just kind of stand back and they're like, look at all the stuff that I've had. Isn't it great? Here's my canning. They have like cantries, which I'm jealous of because I don't have room for that. And they look at it and now they're not doing anything because they did already. They're just standing there and being in appreciation of what they've created. And so that means that A, we're going to stand in appreciation of what we've created and just kind of like survey all that I have already. And then B, at the same time, how do I put this? At the same time, resting, because you've done all the work, you've harvested the things, and it's time to take a minute. And that's kind of what third harvest is. So, especially because we're in the fall and we're kind of shutting down. We're shutting down for the winter, going into hibernation mode, going into that mode where we're kind of like, okay, I gathered all my nuts. I'm good. I need to sit and appreciate, and it's okay if things slow down. So I hope that's helpful. Giving yourself permission to slow down and rest is a huge thing that society doesn't like, but is necessary for us to do. Let's see. Chaylee. Hello, Chaylee. Did you ask a question? What starts on December 13th? I forget. Um, let's see. Ooh, Rachel, I'm just gonna go through these really quick. Moon Magic. Oh, you will have had time for a card. Who is Moon Magic? Who is that? Moon Magic 365. If you're new and I don't know you, I'm sorry, but I'm happy to know you. Hello, welcome, and make sure you like the channel. I'm going to pull you a witch card if that's cool. It's just, what does she need to know? What does she need to know? Pumpkin. I love pumpkin. So it's funny. I pulled pumpkin for somebody from the Soul Circle, and she was like, I don't even like pumpkin, but I like the idea of the pumpkin from the card perspective. So here's our little pumpkin. She's sitting out in the patch, surveying all she's grown, understanding that pumpkins nourish. So it says, uncaging the spirit within thou, the fertile power you hold. To taste your buttery velvet upon the tongue is a gift I shall cherish each day that comes. So again, it's that similar aspect of, I've grown everything and I'm so grateful. It's just, again, finding the joy in the harvest here. So for you, it's more like, look and see tangibly, what have I grown? What have I created? What is it that is nourishing me that I have created because when you think about it, gardening and stuff like that for vegetables is very similar to co-creation, because you're not really involved in like how big the pumpkin gets or the pumpkin coming through, except like you have control over planting the seed, making sure the soil is fertile, watering it and tending to it and weeding, and then making sure there's enough room, so they're not growing too close together and get rotten or something. But other than that, like, it's really, the pumpkin just does what it's supposed to do, which is grow. So that's a co-creation, because you've created the fertile environment for which it to do its thing. And now you can come back and be like, this is the deliciousness that I have co-created with the universe. It's again, just kind of in that appreciation and allowing it to nourish you, not just letting it sit there, but picking it, taking it home, and maybe making a pie or a pumpkin bread or something so that it nourishes you. So, and I'm being allegorical here, but you get what I'm saying. So I feel like that's going to be some helpful stuff to you. So really be focused on right now, like holding the energy of gratitude and appreciation of what you created for yourself. Because I think a lot of times what happens is we do a lot of stuff that other people are like, whoa, that was amazing. And you're just like, next. And you need to take a minute and stop and look and say, wow, I really did something. And something that's coming to mind here is, I think this is for everybody, is this is a time right now to look and see, how far have I come? Not where am I going? There'll be time for that soon enough. But what have I done this year that I am extraordinarily proud of, that I want to give myself credit for on a personal level, on a work level? Stuff like that, like on an emotional level. What have I processed that took me a long time to process? Maybe you lost weight or you gained weight, maybe you're doing some more exercise and it's not about weight, it's just about feeling good. It might be I changed my diet so that I can feel better. It might be I decided to not take certain things so that, I can see what my body does on its own. It might be I created more relationships for myself and I strengthened the ones that I really treasure. Those could be personal things. Started meditating or something like that. Professional wise, it could be I set goals for myself and I achieved them. But take a day, take a month, take all of November, because it's like gratitude month anyway, and be like, hey, I'm so grateful, and I give myself credit for all of the things that I did. And I feel like that's something that needed to be said today. And then we're a little bit over. I'm just going to double check what's going on here. Let's see. Okay. So I think I got everybody going on here. Yeah. Chili asked for, okay, Chili will do you. Nikki! Oh, hey, Nikki! She said, sorry, on Facebook and the audio got weird, so I switched to YouTube. Yeah, it's going to be better. I don't know why Facebook does weird stuff. Chili, that was for Moon Magic, but that last part was for kind of everybody. So Chili, we're gonna do you, and that's gonna be my final one for the day, y'all. So, but again, remember, if you did not get a reading, that is okay, because all these readings are for everybody. If it resonates with you. So Chili, and I hope I'm saying that correctly. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm gonna do a witch card for you. Oh, All Hallows Eve. How funny! That's today. Okay. Call upon the voices that stir your senses through the night. Cast an unforgiven howl as you stomp your might through the ground. All Hallows Eve. Bring that. Bring it. And I feel like for you, Chaley, you know what? What I feel like is whatever it is that you're doing to just step into your 100% authenticity role for yourself, keep going. Because, like, you know how we think about on Halloween or Samhain, and people get dressed up. Like, a lot of times, especially as adults, we like to dress up as things we want to be. And they may be fictional characters, they may be fantasy characters, they may be a profession, they may, whatever it is. And sometimes it's like what we want to be all the time, but for whatever reason, we let other people dictate whether we give ourselves permission to be that or not. And for you, it's almost like just let it be. Even if you got to take some baby steps to get out there, just go on and let it be. Have it be Halloween all year long for you. I feel like just get in touch with that deep inner voice for yourself, and then allow it to come out. Listen to that voice and let it guide you. Don't judge it with the same judgment as society. Don't do that to yourself, my darling. Make sure that you judge it from how source energy would see you. See yourself through the eyes of source and then live 1,000% authentically in that space. Because I feel like that today you're going to just have so much fun. And I don't want tomorrow to have like a headache because you had fun and now you're trying to put everything back in the box. Maybe let it out of the box, and see what happens. I think the best thing I did for myself years ago, like in 2016, I just started posting like I'm reading cards online. This is before I quit my job and do this professionally now for full time, because it was weird. I knew that some people would be like, shame, shame, shame. And other people would be like, ooh, when can I book reading? And the weird thing was, half the people, like, it was opposite. Like, the people I thought would be totally down with everything was like, go away. And like, some people that I thought were going to be like, get thee behind me, they were like, hey, can I come and get a reading? Blah, blah, blah. So, you never know. But the thing is, once you're authentically out there, it's kind of like, you don't got to worry about stuff anymore. So I highly encourage you to make it Halloween every single day. So I hope that that is helpful. So that was our last reading. And I appreciate y'all joining me today. We did 12 to 1 for lunchtime readings today. And I was so psyched that you guys were here. And I'm so grateful that you spent the time with me today. Now, remember, like I said, VIPs, check your emails for your pre-sale date and time for your New Year's readings, which is that 14 card reading that we do. That's your map for 2024. Everybody else, join me for the 2024 New Year's reading. That's going to be a week from this Friday on the 10th of November at 11 a.m. right here. And it's a group reading. So I'm not going to be like pulling cards for specific people. It's more like here's the reading for the whole year as a collective. But if you want your own reading, and you can go ahead, and the very next day on the 11, I'm going to open up my calendar, and I have limited spots for you to book your very own personal 2024 New Year's reading, which is that 14 card thing that has been something that I do. It's a signature reading that I do that I created back in like 2017. And I do it every single year. But again, it's only limited spots. So once all the spots are taken, that's it. So if you're a VIP, you have the pre-sale access right now. And then everybody else will have access to the calendar on November 11th, 11/11. So thank you so much. Have a great Halloween. I know I went a little bit over, so I hope you could stay with me for your whole lunch hour. I'm going to go and have my lunch and do some cleansing and clearing. So make sure you clear energy with the Halloween as you're doing things. And I love you so much. And the 2 decks that we used today, just so you know what they were, were the Spirit Animal Oracle right here, Colette Baron Reed, and then the Seasons of the Witch Oracle, Samhain Oracle. These ones are interesting because the Seasons of the Witch, they have the different holidays. So you can get Samhain, I think Mabon, Yule, there's a couple other ones. So, and that one is illustrated by Giada Rose, and it is by Lorianne Anderson and Juliet Diaz. So thank you to them for those creations. And thank you guys for being here. I love you so much. Enjoy. And if you're watching and I didn't give you a reading, I'm so sorry, but I can't be here all day and I got to go to do some other stuff. But if you want to rewatch the replay, the fact is that I intended for every reading to be for everyone. So make sure you just kind of listen in and see what resonates, because that'll be for you. So I love you so much. I will see you guys next week on the 10th, which is that Friday at lunchtime. And other than that, have a great rest of your week. I'll see you then. Bye, y'all. Love y'all so much. Bye.